In the heart of South Africa's political arena stands a fiery, controversial, and unapologetically bold leader, Julius Malema. From his days as a youth activist to founding the economic freedom fighters, Malema's journey has been one of defiance, drama, and deep-rooted passion for Africa's liberation. Born on March 3, 1981, in the township of Seshego, Limpopo, Julius was raised by his mother, a domestic worker. His father was absent. Life in the township wasn't easy. But even as a child, Julius showed an unusual level of boldness. At just 9 years old, he joined the African National Congress Youth League, and his first mission, removing National Party election posters during the apartheid era. The spirit of activism was in his blood from the very beginning. By his teenage years, Julius Malema had become a well-known figure in youth politics. He rose through the ranks of the ANC Youth League with a loud voice and a sharper mind. It wasn't long before his reputation caught national attention. In 2008, at just 27 years old, he was elected president of the ANCYL. Charismatic, radical, and unapologetically loyal to Jacob Zuma, Malema famously declared that he would kill for Zuma. That statement made headlines across the country, and it set the tone for the kind of leader Malema was going to be. But Malema was never just a loyal foot soldier. He had his own ideas about South Africa's future. He began to challenge the ANC's economic policies, demanding the nationalization of mines, banks, and radical land reform. His speeches became more aggressive. His targets were clearer, and his popularity among the poor and working class continued to grow. Eventually, the ANC couldn't handle the heat. In 2012, after years of internal conflict, Julius Malema was expelled from the party. He had served his entire life. Many thought that would be the end of his political career. They were wrong. In 2013, Malema bounced back with something bigger, bolder, and redder. He founded the Economic Freedom Fighters, better known as the EFF, wearing red berets, red overalls, and marching under the slogan "Economic Freedom in Our Lifetime." The EFF promised to fight for the people the ANC had forgotten. Their main message was clear: take back the land, nationalize the economy, and end the legacy of apartheid that still haunted the country. In the 2014 national elections, just 1 year after launching, the EFF won over 1 million votes, securing 25 seats in parliament. It was a political earthquake. Malema had created a new opposition force, one that wasn't afraid to speak loudly, act defiantly, and demand change, no matter the cost. Inside Parliament, Malema became even more controversial. He and his Red Army were unlike anything the country had seen. They disrupted speeches. They dressed like miners and domestic workers to symbolize the poor. They called out corruption without fear, especially when it came to President Jacob Zuma. During a now iconic session in Parliament, Malema stood and shouted at Zuma, "Pay back the money," referring to the millions spent on Zuma's private Nkandla residence. The phrase went viral and became a rallying cry for accountability across the country.
So the question we're asking today, and we are not going to leave here before we get an answer, is when are you paying the money? Because the public protector has instructed you that you must pay the money.
Point of order, Chair.
And we want the date of when are you paying the money.
Point of order.
But Julius Malema is more than just a South African politician. He is a Pan-Africanist at heart. He has repeatedly called for a borderless Africa, the return of African land to African people, and the economic liberation of the continent. He believes that African unity is the future, and that the continent can only prosper when it frees itself from Western domination, both politically and economically. However, with bold ideas come bold consequences. Malema has never been far from controversy. He has faced multiple charges of hate speech, accusations of inciting violence, and even legal battles over his personal finances. His critics argue that he is divisive, dangerous, and irresponsible. His supporters say he is brave, visionary, and the only politician willing to speak the truth to power. Through it all, his quotes have resonated far beyond Parliament. Notably, he once said, "We are not calling for the slaughter of white people, at least for now." This provocative remark, made in 2016, was widely debated. Malema later clarified it as a rhetorical jab, emphasizing that his fight is against systemic inequality, not individuals, though critics saw it as a veiled threat. He also declared, "We are the children of Robert Sobukwe and Steve Biko. We are fearless," and insisted the land must be returned to the people. To some, these are cries for justice. To others, they signal division. What cannot be denied is that Julius Malema has changed South African politics forever. He brought fire to the debates. He brought the poor back into focus. He forced uncomfortable conversations about race, inequality, and power. And he did it all while remaining unapologetically himself. Today, the EFF continues to grow, especially among young South Africans who feel ignored by the old political parties. Many see Malema as their voice, someone who isn't afraid to challenge the status quo. Others remain cautious, wondering whether his radical rhetoric could lead the country into deeper division. So what does the future hold for Julius Malema? Could he one day be president of South Africa? Or will he remain a powerful voice from the outside, forever pushing the system to change? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain, Julius Malema is not done. Not even close. If you found this story insightful, don't forget to subscribe and watch our other videos profiling the bold and complex leaders of Africa.